The Australians and New Zealanders landed on the wrong beach called Arryburnu. They were supposed to be landing on a long, wide beach called Cape Tepe. The invasion was poorly planned and everything went wrong. The Turks were waiting at the top of the cliff for them. The Anzacs didn't stand a chance.
The Anzacs that made it to the top had to dig trenches. The trenches were 8 metres long and 2 to 3 metres high. The trenches were muddy and full of diseases. One of the diseases was called trench foot. It would turn their feet red or blue and their foot would often have to be amputated.
Soldiers were issued with ration packs with basic food. You could not get water at Anzac Cove. You had to get it from islands off the coast. It had to be brought in petrol cans. In the ration packs, the soldiers found hardtack biscuits. They were as hard as bricks, and they can break their teeth. They also found bully beef in their ration packs. It was canned corned beef.
90,000 nurses volunteered to go to the Great War. Their job was to look after the soldiers in the tents. The soldiers in the tents had injuries. They were brought in by stretcher bearers. The stretcher bearers either had donkeys or stretchers. They would walk onto the battlefield and pick up the wounded soldiers and take them to the tents. Their job was very dangerous. They had to be very brave. The first stretcher bearer was John Murphy Kirkpatrick. With his donkey Duffy, they made a great team. The stretcher bearers were well respected even by the Turks. Murphy died of wounds himself on the 19th of May 1915.
Years after World War I, the poppies grew in Belgium and France. They became a symbol to remember the men and women that fought and were killed for us on the battlefield. Today we wear poppies on Poppy Day and Anzac Day to remember the men and women that died for us in war.
It was about 1941. They decided that they would change it to Returned Services Association, and it still kept the RSA, and there's still 8 letters to the name. And that way it was not only the soldiers but the Air Forcemen and the Navy. Something that's very important to the RSA men, especially early on, was the badge. And initially it was quite a big badge. And then later on they changed it to a small badge, and it's got a crown on it because the returned men fought for king and country. And later on, as the years went by, they got smaller badges, and then they had a little piece on here with the year, like it'd have 2014 on it. If any of our members are sick, perhaps taking them a food parcel, a lot if they have to go to need into a hospital, they'll get petrol vouchers, or if they have to go back up and week after week, we might give them grocery vouchers. We also look after the widows of our returned members. And we take them gifts and food parcels and so on. We also support the services, the men serving overseas at the moment. They always get a gift parcel at Christmas time, and it's got things like chocolate and Vegemite and yummy New Zealand things to remind them of home.
On April 25th, it is Anzac Day, a day we remember the soldiers who lost their lives in the war. We tell poems and speeches on Anzac Day. A saying from Anzac Day is lest we forget. We also have a dawn parade on Anzac Day to help us remember the soldiers that lost their lives in the war.